everybody. This is Brenda Miller. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, and I go live every Wednesday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time to share with you some of the things that I'm working on, some Stampin' Up! News, all different kinds of things, whatever's on my desktop. And I do that again every Wednesday, and I love to have you join me. This week, we are going to talk about the Earthen Textures bundle, and I was supposed to do this last week, but my recording did not. I had to record it because I was on vacation, and my recording did not have any sound, so I'm not sure what I did there, but anyway, redoing it this week. So I really love this bundle, and hopefully I'm going to share with you some tricks that maybe you didn't already know. So without further ado, let's pop on over and see what I got. So we have this card that we're going to make, and it was inspired by a demonstrator named Karen Kensakovic, and she is another demonstrator here in New Jersey. I took her layout and pretty much a lot of the ideas. I've changed some coloring and things like that, but anyway, I thought that this was a great use of this particular bundle, and that's what we're going to make today. So here is the bundle again. It's this stamp set. It has these lovely vases and some ferns and branches and things to come out of it, some nice sayings, and the special thing about this set is that it also comes in Spanish. It's the only one right now. I talked about this on my last quick class that we used to have a Spanish stamp catalog, and we no longer do. I'm assuming things didn't sell, but the demand has been there again, and so they are trying it out with this stamp set. So if you like to have Spanish sets, you might want to make sure that you get this so that Stampin' Up! Gets the message that you are looking for something like that. So that was the stamp set, and then these are the different dies. I still haven't used this one. I love this. It's this big fan leaf, and it takes up a lot of your card coming out of a one of the vases, either one, and I just haven't had a chance to use it yet, but few things with it here today. My desktop, my phone went away there for a minute. Sorry about that. Okay, so these are the different dies that are included in this bundle. So I wanted to share with you how to make some of the different vases that you can, or urns. Some people are calling them urns. And what I did was I put together a little cheat sheet on how to do it. This one is made with let me come back to my solo layout. Not sure what my computer's doing here. Here we go. So we have this is the tall urn, and this made with, I'm going to just pull it out. You can see it's this die, and I have a little washi tape that helps me line things up. And so this was stamped on very vanilla using gray granite ink, and it also has the little jug handles. Jug handles in New Jersey mean something totally different than they do any part of the rest of the world, but here in New Jersey we use them for U-turns on our highways. I find them to be very convenient. When I go elsewhere, I gotta wonder how you guys all make those left turns all the time. But anyway, these are jug handles so that you can make your handles to be a different, you can add the topper if you want to, or not add it if you don't. Okay, so that's where that came from. This is just out of gray granite. This is just die cut out of gray granite. And then this is gray granite on gray granite cardstock. So it gives that little bit of texture, right? And then this just shows the same color together. So they're both gray granite. And one of the things I want you to note is that when you use, and I'll show this to you when we make our card, I think, when you use the jug handles, you don't put it right at the top because that looks a little funny, right? When you see a vase or urn made with this, you're going to be putting it further down so that it lines up with the wider part of the vase or urn, okay? So that's with the larger one, and then I did the same thing with the smaller one. Now check this out. I love, love, love that there is this die this die, you may be wondering what it does, but here it is. Look, it gives texture to, you could use this on the big urn also, but I love the way it looks on the small urn, and it gives that texture just by running it through. So what you would do is you would die cut it first and then put it through with this die on top. Okay, that's how that works. You saw how we did the jug handles right there. This is stamped on vanilla with gray granite, and this again is gray granite on gray granite, and it gives you that little bit of texture. And this uses this little die, and we're going to use this in on our card, but this little crisscross, and that helps you give a design to it. Now you could use a contrasting color. I love it when it's used with the same color right on top. So that's just me. Anyway, those are just some ideas of how you can make the vases and urns with the set. So let's go ahead and make our cards. I've got my pieces here. I'm starting with, this is Pretty Peacock, and it's just an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock. Fold it in half, okay? And then I always like to put the piece on the inside of my card so it gets it out of the way, and I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal to do that. So here we go. That way it's out of the way and we know where it is, etc. Okay, so now we're going to work on the front of the card. The first thing we're going to do is do some tone-on-tone stamping. So I'm taking out my Pretty Peacock ink pad, which is new and very juicy, and I'm going to take this very whispery kind of branch, and I'm just going to stamp it all around the card. Now, remember, we're going to be covering up a lot of it, most of it towards the left side of the card, but I want to make sure, so make sure you have something underneath, okay, but I want to make sure that I don't just have the final branches sticking out, because that's not as interesting as seeing the whispery willowy part. Okay, so here we have this stamped, oops, sorry about that, elbow to the stand. Okay, so that's our background. So then we're going to take our layer, and this is going to go on now, but before I do that, I want to cut out my my vase, the taller vase. Let's see, I want to take my sample, see how can I get you to see? I can't. Okay, we're going to just do this as we go. Okay, and you'll see how it works. So I'm going to stamp this right in the middle because I'm going to cover up this entire thing with this entire piece. This becomes the mat, so I don't need to conserve the paper there. And I'm going to die cut it with the tall vase. And as I showed in my last video, you'll see that doesn't quite go all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom. It covers up. Can you see that there's a little bit you can see around the outside because the die is a slightly smaller, but I like that because once you go ahead and punch that out, you end up with a vase that actually looks rounded, right? Doesn't it look rounded because it goes all the way to the edges? So I love the way that looks. So now that we have that, we'll take out our piece that has it die cut. I pretend I die cut out of it, right? The magic of television. And we will go ahead and add this to the card. Now remember, we're going to cover all that up, and let me show you how. So here is a piece of slightly smaller Whisper White. We're going to cover it up, and I do this a lot just to conserve my precious colors of designer series paper too if I'm using that, but I don't usually layer with designer series paper myself, but my cardstock. And for whatever reason, I'm using, this is copper clay. I didn't mention that, copper clay. I use that a lot, and so I don't have a great abundance of it at the moment, even though I keep ordering it. I don't know where it all goes. But anyway, here it is. So now we have our card. So we know that we have this vase that's going to go on, okay? And so now we want to make another vase. And to do that, we are going to, I just had it here, I'm going to take this piece of Whisper, no, Very Vanilla. Did I say Whisper White before too? Okay. And we're going to use copper clay ink, and we're going to stamp this on using the stamp. And again, as I had mentioned the last time, the vase has a little bit of excess. And again, I'm using my washi tape to help me hold it down. But you can see how it sticks out over the edges a little bit there. And then when it comes out, you can probably see it a little bit better on this one, how we have the edges. They just look like they're going to go around because of the way it goes right all the way to the edge. Usually when we have die cuts, they have a little bit of a white, a little bit of a border around the outside, but not these. So, okay, so now we have that. And as a last detail, I'm going to take some wild wheat, and I've mentioned before that not my favorite color, but it does come in handy. It has been, and it is a nice accent for this color combination. I'm going to use this die to die cut out. As you can see, I already did that here, out of wild wheat, and voila, we have that. Okay, so now we have, I think, one last thing was to die cut out some jug handles. And I've done that here. I don't have to show you that again. That's just simple die cutting. And I think those are all our pieces to, oops, I also die cut out, let's look at these, 2 of the crisscrosses. Okay, so we talked about the crisscrosses before, but they are very nice, and they make for a nice design element on this card, I think. Okay, so now that we have our pieces, I'm going to kind of eyeball where I want things, because not only do I want to take my grass, let's call this one grass, okay? That looks kind of boring. Now I could have cut out more and made them, put them on there, but instead we're going to stamp. Why not stamp? We have stamps that go with it. So I'm going to take out my wild wheat ink pad, and now that I kind of know where I want them to go, I'm going to use this stamp. You can see, and that's nice and feathery, and I'll make a nice backdrop, and I'm going to just stamp it down right about here. Now, what's nice about it is that it can go behind or in front of the 2 vases. So, as you can see here, it's going to end up looking like this, and that's okay. So, we have that on there. So let's go ahead and assemble all of these pieces. Okay. So the first thing is you have to work back to front, right? And so the back of this is going to be these crisscrosses. And I love the way that this was something Karen did on her card, and she used it instead of like a ribbon or something like that, and it sticks out over, and it's just a lovely contrast and overlaps all the different layers, so it looks kind of ties everything together. And I just thought that that was brilliant. So that is why I chose to take that idea. So for this, we're going to use some glue. All right, and I'm just going to use just some dabs on the back side. You want to make sure you don't use a ton, right? Because you don't want it seeping out all over the place. So I'm just putting some little dots and dabs, okay? You don't need a lot, it's just a little piece. And I'm going to put it on the card, let's say about here. Okay, so I'm going to hold that down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we'll do this one as well, same thing. Yeah, I know the crisscrosses are fun, right, Sharon? They're fun to use. So we're going to line it. I want to line it up. Now, of course, I could use a ruler or something, but I'm big on just eyeballing. And it's an optical illusion anyway, that when you line up the 2 sides, as long as they're close, they look like they're even. Close and straight, right? As long as they're like that. Then I'm going to take my taller vase, and I'm going to put that down with some glue, just because I have it out. And I'm going to overlay that. hold it down for a few. And then I am going to assemble this before I do anything. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the glue and I'm going to put it at the top. You can see the top of my vase, and I'm going to take my jug handles and I'm going to lay them down. And again, can't put it at the very top. This one actually, I probably could get away with that, but this I'm going to go just a little bit lower so that the sides line up. Okay, I want to make sure that the sides line up so that it looks like one continuous urn or vase. Okay, that's how we get that. And then I'm just going to use one dimensional, pop it on the back here, and lay it over. Let's see. Wait. Don't do it yet. Oh, I almost forgot my grass. You could either glue the grass down. I'm just going to go ahead and put it right into the dimensional, okay, so that it sticks out. And I'm going to put it just a little bit higher than the other vase. See how they're not quite lined up, okay? So here we have the basis of the card. Now we just want a little sentiment. So for the sentiment, I'm going to use my copper clay again. And the stamp set has lots of different sayings, but I just love this thank you. I know I've used it before. It's easy to work with. And this is a 1/2 inch strip, 1/2 by 2.5 inches. And I'm just going to lay it down. And voila, we have a lovely thank you. And to make it pop a little bit, here it is, a little strip of copper clay. Again, I'm going to put some adhesive right on the top so that it just sort of underlines what we've got going on. And then I'm going to put this onto the card. Now to put this on, I'm going to, on the back left side, put a little bit of glue. And on the back right side, I'm going to use a dimensional. And that's so that everything is even when it goes to the card, because the vase is popped up, okay, already. So we don't want to kind of take that over. So here we go. So balancing the card a little bit, coming over to the right side. Now we have our finished card, okay. Oh, not quite done though, right? Because we have some lovely, these little shiny gems, and these are our adhesive backed solid gems, and they just so happen to come in the color that we want. And we are going to use the take your pick tool, but I have to use the pointy tool today because my other ones, I took them to a class and I have to get them out of my carrier. We needed a whole bunch of these. I went to my seniors and I did the kit with it's the birthday card organizer kit, and it is on sale this month coincidentally, but I had set up this class months ago, and it has lots of sequins on the 12 cards that we made from using the kit. So they all like to use the take your pick tool with the putty end, so I brought enough to use. Hi Kim, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Anyway, so this is the card. So that is using the Earthen Textures. Let me just pop back over to say that thank you for joining me, and next week I promise I will have some sneak peeks from the new catalog. We will be featuring mostly the designer series paper next week. I did get some of all of it, and I can't wait to share it with you. So many wonderful things in the new holiday catalog that you should be receiving in the mail if you are a customer of mine. And if you need a catalog, please just let me know. I think that's it for today. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye.